In today's video, we're going to talk about good condo buildings in Bayside area. Bayside area is located on the lower east side of the city, just by the lake. It is one of the best waterfront communities with great lakeside views, modern architecture. It's got a pretty vibrant feel to it with good sense of community, and it's an up and coming neighborhood. And this video is part of an ongoing series with Tom's Story where we discuss good condo buildings or best condo buildings in different neighborhoods of the city of Toronto. So if you get any value out of this content, please hit that like button, and also please do subscribe to the channel. If you got any questions about real estate, you can book a call with us by clicking on the first link mentioned in the description below. Now enjoy the video.
So Amrit, welcome back. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
I am doing great. So Bayside Toronto is East Waterfront. TRREB is the developer behind it. We've been very vocal in the fact that we think TRREB is great. They're not cheap, but the quality is amazing of these buildings. What's your experience been like so far in this area, kind of as they've been building it out?
Yeah, I love this neighborhood and this area. It's one of my favorites there. They've got a good community vibe out there. A lot of local events I see which happen over there with some art installations, which is pretty cool. And it's just by the water, which gives a very relaxing atmosphere to the whole neighborhood. And whenever I take my clients to show any condos or buildings over there, they love it.
Yeah, the one thing I was thinking about this neighborhood is it's still new, right? Like even phase one, which was the Aqualina building, that was 2018. So this community is still kind of finding itself. And I still think it's probably going to take 5 years for restaurants and other things to open down there, because you're a little bit secluded right by the water.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially the transit connectivity too,
Right.
because right now they don't have the transit connectivity there. They're not the best one. You have a bus which goes back and forth, but they don't have a subway connectivity as of now over
Right.
there.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's go over the buildings that are there right now, the 4 buildings that TRREB is behind. And phase one was Aqualina. This is 15 and 55 Merchants Wharf. There's 362 units. I know we've both been in these buildings quite a few times. Why don't you get us started with your impression on 15 and 55 Merchants Wharf?
Yeah, 15 Merchant is a good building. It's not a super high rise. It's just 13 stories. And as you said, it was built in 2018. Units have good layout and spacious. Since there are not so many units, or it's not a super high rise, the maintenance is slightly on the higher end. That's one of the reasons. And they've got amenities too, let's be honest.
Have you
So
seen their
this-
pool on the rooftop?
Oh yeah, that's pretty
It's
cool. That is
maybe
pretty
the
cool.
nicest rooftop pool looking over the water
Yeah.
that I've seen in any building. No building has that view. It's insane.
Yeah. And on top of that, you also get the lakefront, Lake Ontario view with the pool. So
Yep.
it adds to that, right? So it feels very cool and pretty nice out there.
Yeah, it's
So-
amazing. It feels like a beach club up there, especially on a nice
Absolutely,
day.
yeah. And that's
So there's 15 and 55, and kind of 15 is the north side, right? And then 55 is the one that is right on the water. So 55, you're getting more of the direct right on water views, and that's why that side can sell for a little bit more per square foot if you're directly facing the water. And then there's some on the 15 side that are you still get water view, but you kind of got to turn your head as you look
yeah.
at the balcony. And then there's some kind of in the middle that are an interesting, where they're still 15, but you still get a direct water view if they're kind of on the side of the building.
Yeah.
But these are really nice condos. And I feel like we've sold in there before, but I don't think they're on too many people's radars.
No, probably because of the transit accessibility. That's one
Maybe.
of the things. And when people compare the price per square foot with rest of the city,
Yeah.
it is slightly higher. So maybe that's the reason. These are only 2 reasons, I think. And one feedback I got was the maintenance fees from one of my clients. So
Sure.
that's subjective.
We hear that's kind of the main feedback we get, right, about most of these condo buildings. Phase number 2 is Aqua Vista. And as you can tell,
Yeah.
they have a bit of a naming scheme here. Everything starts with aqua because you're beside the water. That was 2019. That's 227 units, and the address is 1 Edgewater Drive. What's your opinion on phase 2?
It's a good building, but the units in this building sell for slightly higher price per square foot as opposed to Aqualina. And the maintenance fees are also high over here because they've got less number of units, and amenities are humongous. They've got tons of amenities here too. So just to reiterate, if the more the amenities, it's going to push your maintenance fees as well. So amenities come with a cost. So
Yep.
the maintenance fees are high, but otherwise units have good layouts. And it's well built. It's built by TRREB, so it's solid.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? All these buildings are built by TRREB, which means that for the most part, that's a pretty safe bet here in the Toronto real estate landscape for condos.
Yeah.
But comes at a premium in cost because you're getting really good quality compared to some of the other developers. Phase 3 is Aquabella. So that's 118 Merchants Wharf. That was a 2021. That building's kind of got the L-shaped. It's got the garden terraces. Again, like it's really nice. There's not really much even to say about it because they're all fairly similar, these first 3 buildings. But it's the one that came in 2021. And then phase 4, which is being completed now and people are starting to slowly move in, is Aqua Luna. And I would say maybe at least like the outside of this building might be the coolest looking, most beautiful architecture I've seen in a Toronto condo in a long, long, long time.
100%. I agree with you. I was there the other day. It looks so nice from outside and from inside too, because there's some assignment sales happening in the building. So we went to look at those, and good quality. You feel like you're in a 5-star, top-notch 5-star hotel. Decent, a very nice lobby, and the units had a good layout too. But it comes with a price. So the units in that building are going to be selling at a higher price point. So
even the assignment sales on the market as of recording this video, like I think you start at $1 million to get in that building, and then I think it goes up to 3 million. But just the way they built it with like, it's just, I don't even like, there'll be visuals with us talking here, so you guys will see what we're talking about. But the views are going to be amazing. And I've talked to quite a few people that have bought in that building over $2 million, like really, really big purchase prices, but they're buying to live there. Of course there's investments in all these condos, but a lot of people are saying like they're choosing, they have a budget of $2 million and they're buying there versus, going to Leslieville and buying a detached house 10 minutes east. So that's that's an interesting thing to me, is that dilemma when you have a high-end condo is like, well, you're competing with potential home buyers. But some people are saying like, no, like we want simple condo living in a beautiful building built by a good developer, even though that area hasn't quite kind of matured to what it might eventually become.
I think we're going to see a lot of downsizers living in this building. That's my personal belief. And because of location, you don't feel like you're in the downtown core when you go there. It is so nice and refreshing in that neighborhood. And also the Portlands are also coming on the east side of that neighborhood. That's going to be the game changer. So I think it's going to be solid development. I mean, it's already developed, but when Portlands comes in, it's going to be pretty nice out there.
I was thinking like how many brand new condos are actually on the water in Toronto, and maybe Pier 27, right? Like, those ones there, but and then you go a little bit more east and you get to the Bayside, what we're talking about today. But typically, right, when you think about like the water view condos that you could buy in Toronto, we're mostly talking about older buildings because they were the first ones built, so they got the best locations.
That place,
But this is this mix of like brand new, the best, if not one of the best developers in the city. By the way, Tridell's not sponsoring this. We just like their product. And you're right on the water. And I feel like that's why this area, more people are going to discover it as it kind of matures and the years go by here. And Aqua Luna is fully open and people have moved in and you can see what it's like living there. I think it's going to be like, there's going to be a lot of money flowing. I mean, it's already happened, but a lot of people making big purchases because it's not cheap to buy there, but what you get is very high end.
Absolutely, yes. I agree with you. It's going to be super solid development over there. And once, as I said, Portland comes in, the more transit accessibility develops. And once this project gets finished, I think this neighborhood is going to be pretty cool. And you were talking about old condos, and I agree, like there are not many good condo buildings where we find a good layout just by the water. We do come across many condo buildings, but they don't have a good layouts which are just by the water. So I think this is going to be pretty solid.
That's a good point. Well, I hope you guys learned something in today's video. I'm going to eagerly be watching this neighborhood. We have a lot of clients, like we've helped people buy in this neighborhood already. And it's, the one thing we didn't talk about is it's a good mix too. It's like, yes, we've said so far this video that like, it's not cheap. Okay. It's a brand new building on the water by a good developer. So it's not going to be cheap, but it's not crazy. It's not like Yorkville prices or anything. And you can get a 1-bed, or you can get 2,500 square foot penthouse with a massive terrace that costs $3 million. Like you do have options. It's not all just massive 2 bedrooms with amazing views that cost, $1 million or more, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Hope you learned something new. I'd love to know if you live in this area, if you've been considering this area, if you just walk around this area and you watch it being built, let us know your opinions below. Specifically, I want to know what people think of the design of Aqua Luna. Because for me, I think I drive by it every day. I'm like, that is just a cool looking building in a sea of kind of condos that all look the same. Thank you for watching. Hope you learned something new today, and we'll talk to you soon.